You guys can hear the difference. It does not sound clean at all.
In today's video, we're doing some electrical diagnostics on a 1989 Jag 440 AFS. This snowmobile has been always a good runner for us. High mileage, but a great runner. And we had some of our nephews riding around recently. I was just looking at something here, see if it got chafed through there. Caleb calls me one day. Well, we looked at this sled. It was running really goofy on one cylinder.
Yeah, it sounded like it was down a cylinder.
Yeah, it sounds like blown up.
Right.
So
we pulled the plugs out, and one was soaking wet, and one was dry.
Yep.
And we figured 10,000, close to 10,000 miles, due for a rebuild.
Right. Now we're good. So the first thing you ever do with diagnostics is you pull the plugs and you just take a visual look at them and to see if they look uniform. What we did first, we pulled the plugs, looked at them.
This one was wet and really jet black. So what we did is we grabbed a brand new plug, because you always want to first, easiest thing you can do, cheapest thing you can do is a $3 spark plug you can get at Fleet Farm, any power sports, shop or dealer next to you.
O'Reilly's,
a lot of places have them. So you put a new plug in on this side, and what we did was put the new plug in and nothing changed. It still ran on one, so that's the easiest thing you can do. It takes about 2 minutes. And then from there, what we did is you want to check for spark, because you need compression, fuel, and spark in order for a machine to run. Yep. On my own, though, is I put a compression gauge in. This side was good, roughly 100. That side was also 100. So I'm like, all right, we got compression, so if it's got gas, because it was wet, it's got gas there. So now we're like, okay, it must be a spark issue.
And it's only one carburetor, so we can't blame a different carburetor. They use the same carb for both cylinders.
So
is that coil plugged in down there? You gotta plug that one in. So if you understand how these ignition systems work, with a coil that has two spark plug wires like this coming out of it, that fires the coils at the exact same time. So if you have spark on one plug and not the other, you can't go any further than the coil. You have to start at the coil, because the coil is getting an input because it's sparking on one side. So the only thing it can be is a spark plug, the spark plug cap, the spark plug wire, or the coil itself, or a connection from the coil to the CDI box, which is down there. So we'll yank it over and see if I can see this one.
Ground out on here.
Yeah, that'll be good. I'll just see if we can see that one.
Make sure switches are on.
Yeah, that one's sparking okay. That one is not sparking okay.
Yeah,
and that's the bad one.
Correct.
So you want to do it one more time? Yeah. Let's see if I can get this. Watch this one right here, guys. This is the one that's sparking. In the light, you can't hardly tell, but you can see it a little bit if you look at this one. Completely nothing. So that tells us we're at the coil and up. One thing I was going to show you guys is how to unscrew the plug caps or resistor caps off your coil wires.
Or to change your wires. Say you got say you got one rubbed, like that one there.
Most people are going to think that you can just yank those off.
I mean,
chances are you're not going to be able to get them off. So see how he's unscrewing that?
Wow, long-winded.
It's got like a lag screw. You'll see if you can show that, Mark, inside.
I don't know if you can see it.
I'll give you a better look at the coil down in there. You can see there's that lag screw looking thing. That's the exact same thing that's in the plug caps. So you thread the coil wire into it, and it goes in the middle of your spark plug wire.
It basically wraps around so the copper is around the lag screw in there.
Yep. So that's how you check and you remove that. So we did all that while we were diagnosing it, and we're like, we got a spare coil for an LT gray, which it's older, but the plug is the same. Looks like that.
Right, a little two-prong.
So we went ahead and we already knew we were down to the coil, but because it's a Chinese coil we put on there, and you get what you pay for when you get stuff like that. So we just figured out we'll plug this in for testing purposes, just see if it's got spark on both sides and
See what happens.
see what happens. And if it does, well, then we knew our diagnostics are good. I'm just gonna get this one on there yet. Ugh. Oh, those things are in there good.
That's the good one I pinched.
I really like that. Can you get that out of there, man? Yeah, that's in there good.
I told you.
I want you to muster yourself. Oh,
That's a good one.
Those snap.
never get them out.
We'll be able to see that.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to see it. Get in here so you can see. Oh yeah, one more time. And then we'll show you this one. Yep. So they're both sparking real nice. That tells us our coil is bad. Whether it's something inside the internals of that Chinese coil not letting spark out of the one side.
Right. Or it could be something from the connector up. You know.
Right. So safe to say we're gonna get ourselves a new coil and we'll be set for business.
Heck yeah.
That's how you diagnose spark issues that are on one cylinder.
Correct.
With a twin output coil. With the individual coils, you know, that's a different ballgame. But the way these fire, you know, that's how you diagnose it. So hopefully this helps somebody with a sled similar to this. Save a lot of grief if you know what you're doing.